So let's talk a little bit about today's technological revolution, which is AI. AI is changing graphic design essentially in three ways. First, AI is lowering the barriers to entry for people who want to do graphic design, similar to what happened with desktop publishing in the 1980s. Second, is making the design process much more efficient for professionals and amateurs alike by automating tedious technical tasks. And third, it's augmenting creatives' abilities in areas they may not be as strong, like creating words or music to accompany a visual design. So let's talk about each of these changes, starting with how AI is making it easier for people to enter the profession of graphic design. Traditionally, one of the barriers to becoming a graphic design professional was that you had to have extensive knowledge of complex software design tools like Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Figma, CorelDRAW, or Sketch. To succeed in this industry, you had to have extensive technical software knowledge and the creative skill to use these tools effectively. These software programs are not all that intuitive or user-friendly. They have intricate interfaces which require a steep learning curve, which made it hard for someone without formal training to use them. AI, however, is changing that through something called text-to-image generation. Text-to-image generation AI allows users to create new visual content, things like images, photos, logos, just by describing them in natural language. So what does that mean? From a user perspective, you type into a prompt in a software program just what you want to see. For example, you might type, "I need a picture of a young girl with brown hair embracing a puppy on a hill." You then click enter, and in less than a minute, a colorful photo appears that matches the details you provided. The more details you tell the computer, the closer that the final product will be to what you had in mind. This is what's called prompt engineering. If you don't like the photo or something seems off, you just type further instructions into the prompt. For example, you might type, "Change the picture so that the puppy has black and white fur." A few seconds later, another image pops up with the changes you requested. Text-to-image generation makes it super easy to create multiple concepts to choose from, and getting the final product you want suddenly depends more on your skill in describing your vision than on your ability to master complex design tools. So, what is the AI technology behind text-to-image generation? It's called generative AI. Remember from our first episode together, we talked about how generative AI is the creative cousin in the AI technology family tree. It's a combination of several forms of AI, including machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing. Generative AI can produce original, and I put original in quotes, but original content by synthesizing large amounts of unstructured, complex data using the deep neural networks we talked about in our first episode together. Text-to-image generative AI models are created or trained by reviewing millions of image caption pairs, basically image with a text description saying what the image is. During the training, the AI learns the relationship between the words and the image's features, styles, subjects, and scenes by mapping the text in the visual data into a shared mathematical map called latent space, where it connects language and visual concepts. The AI then uses neural networks to gradually get better at matching words with images. Once training is complete, the model uses what it learned to create fresh images based on your prompt, even if it hasn't seen an exact picture of what you're describing. Now, this training process is why critics of generative AI call it regurgitated AI, because generative AI is not creating something entirely outside of its training data. Its outputs are inherently derived from and limited by what it was trained on. So, generative AI is not truly thinking or understanding, but is instead performing sophisticated statistical calculations to predict the next logical element in a sequence, which is why some people say it's essentially advanced regurgitation. The most popular generative AI text-to-image tools right now are Midjourney, DALL, Stable Diffusion, Adobe Firefly, Ideogram, Canva Magic Design, but there are a lot more out there. This is a very hot market. Keep in mind, text-to-image generation is a game changer, but it's not totally new. There have been templates and stock images in the design world for some time. What's different with AI is the speed at which you work. Instead of spending hours searching for a stock image, you can get exactly what you want in seconds. It's also different because of the scale. Instead of being limited by the stock image or templates that you can easily find, you can create exactly what you visualize in your mind in minutes without using any complex design software. The second way AI is changing graphic design is that it's making the design process much faster and more efficient by automating tedious technical tasks. In the past, creating a visual design could require a lot of boring technical work. Things like removing something in the background or resizing an image, correcting a color, selecting a font, masking an image. These all take a lot of time. Text-to-image generative AI now automates these time-consuming tasks. For example, instead of painstakingly removing a distracting object from the background of a photo, designers can now use AI-powered tools to erase it instantly. Image resizing is similar. In the past, designers had to resize images for different media platforms. For example, if a designer was preparing an image for use on both Instagram, a website banner, and a printed flyer, the designer would have to manually crop and adjust the image to fit each unique size and aspect ratio. Now, generative AI can automatically adjust the image for different platforms or formats without distorting the quality or composition. And AI is doing the same thing for color correction, font selection, image masking, and other time-consuming technical tasks. The third and last way AI is changing graphic design is that it's augmenting creatives' abilities in areas where they may not be as strong, such as creating words or music to go along with a visual design. Many people who go into graphic design as a profession have excellent visual skills, but they may not feel as confident when it comes to writing copy or choosing music. Now, with generative AI, they can quickly generate draft text for headlines or ad copy, or create background music tailored to their project, making it easier to deliver a complete product for their client without having to hire additional specialists or spending time learning new skills.